Hey everyone, this is Miss Serious. Welcome back to my channel for another speed build video. Today you can see we're doing like a cottage in the woods, and I actually did a pack restrict on this build. So if you don't own all the packs, don't fret. This is cottage, living, and base game only. However, you will notice I did do this build in Vindenburg because I had this lot in mind. This lot is teeny tiny. You'll know which one I'm talking about. It's the one on the island that has its own little like private beach with fishing. Unfortunately, you can't swim in Windenburg, but you know, I just thought that it would be the perfect size for something small and cute. So you can see that the photo had popped up of what we're going for. So don't forget to let me know at the end of the video how you think I did and how I could do better. If you want to see something specific, don't forget to join the Discord to drop some inspo photos in there so I can build more things, different things. The last thing I built, if you caught my stream on Twitch, was a townhouse, also from an inspo photo, and it was a lot of fun, a huge space, so check that out. That's on the gallery. This one will be on the gallery as soon as this video is uploaded. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy it. So today I will be premiering this video right after my stream. So if you're catching the stream, don't forget to catch the video. And yeah, we're gonna go back to my crazy legacy family, and it's gonna be awesome. And I hope that you enjoy it. So yeah, you can see we're working on the roof right now. In the inspo video or photo, there was this really pretty design on the roof, and that's why I was inspired to do this whole thing with the cottage living, because I knew that these little roof decals existed, and I was super stoked because honestly, I almost never use the roofing from this pack. Like every now and then I'll use the furniture. I always have the chickens. You know, I didn't put the chickens in this house because there wasn't really enough space. Well, obviously they wouldn't be in the house, but you know what I mean. But if you do end up downloading this build, you can definitely add the chickens, don't worry. You can just remove the fences that I put up. But, or put it on a bigger lot and have cows and llamas too, you know? Do whatever you're feeling. But yeah, you could see I had to cut out a little bit there. The roof was giving me a lot of trouble. I probably spent 30 minutes just messing with the roof because the game kept glitching out, but I think we all know how that goes. If you're a chronic Sims player like I am, you know that sometimes things just don't work. But anyways, finishing up the outside right now with the windows. And yeah, I actually got pretty lucky with this build because the inspo photo that I used, I actually ended up having just about everything that I needed for it. Like the black windows, the roof design with it being like the patchy kind of looking roof, and the brick. I don't know, it actually came out really well. Like there's no photo of the back, so this is just me, you know, being creative with the back. But yeah, it's a really small space, as you can see. So I did want to make this a 2-bedroom, but it ended up being only a 1-bedroom. Like you would definitely see like your grandparents living here, or like if you're doing a legacy challenge and your sim, like your next generation sim is grown, you can, and you don't want to play with the parents, because I personally don't like playing with 1,000 sims in my household. You can move them into this little house and they can live out the rest of their simly lives in peace and serenity. But yeah, I actually added a lot of trees and like bushes and like grass and stuff. So it did raise the price to this house just above a starting home price for 2 Sims. So if you did want to use this as a starting home, I would suggest that after you place it in your world, you come through and delete like all this extra grass that I added, because that's probably where that extra money is coming from, to be honest. But yeah, the inspo photo had an opening in the gate for some reason, and I decided that I wanted to use it as a driveway. So I used a debug truck, which you'll see me put here in a minute, because I was like, well, they live in the woods. I think a truck makes the most sense. And I actually did not even think about this until the very end once I finished. But right in front of this lot, you can see those massive bushes and a rock, like right in front of where I put the driveway. But hey, they have a truck, so they probably, you know, have to drive over it every time or something. That's what I'm imagining. But, oh well. Not important. You can move this house wherever you want. Doesn't have to be in front of a bush. Doesn't have to be on the beach or in the woods. But yeah, as you can see, I've just finished up the outside. So now we get to work on the inside. So it is just pretty much a box. So I had to be pretty creative because it's not very big. Like I said, I really wanted this to be a 2-bedroom, but there was just not enough space for it to make sense. So unfortunately, I ended up going with a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. But it has like a nice, really cozy living area that I ended up with. Like you can see me playing with the walls here, trying a bunch of different ways on how I could possibly make this work. Because in my builds, pretty much no matter what, I want there to be at least 1 bedroom that can fit a double bed properly. You know, so the Sims can get around it. It makes sense. And this build just unfortunately was a little too small to fit 2 realistic bedrooms. So I went with 1. And I also made the bathroom accessible from the living space in case you had guests over, which you'll see in this house probably won't happen very much. The living area is pretty tight, but it's really meant just for like an old couple that just chills. You know, they don't do a whole lot, probably do a lot of outdoorsy stuff or knitting, hanging out by the beach, going fishing. Definitely not a party house. Definitely like a end of Sims life gameplay house, if you will. But you can see me going through 1,000 different wallpapers throughout this build. I could not decide. I knew that I wanted to use green. Like that was the only thing. I was like, I want this to be kind of with a green theme happening. But that's about as far as I got. And when I was messing with the counters, I cut it out because it was like a whole sequence of me taking every single counter with every different color swatch and lining them up against the wall, trying to decide which one I wanted to use. And I was like, this is unnecessary footage. I have to cut this out. But then I decided that I definitely wanted to use more color because my builds recently have been all like one color theme. So I decided to go with the yellow counters, but then I remembered that the yellow counter, like the cabinets, have the blue cloth in them. And I was like, oh, I should just use all of the blue appliances. And so I thought that came out really cute. And yeah, so you kind of get like this yellow, blue, green, like really just earthy colors. And since I had sunflowers in the front of the house, I wanted it to be as if like they picked the sunflowers and put them inside. So you'll see sunflowers pop up in a couple different places in this build. Like I said, it's pack restricted to cottage living and base game only. So that's why you'll see pretty much me using only cottage living things. There's not a lot of options from base game. The rugs just aren't great from base game, if I'm being completely honest. So I tried so many different things and ended up settling for the same rug, different swatch. But oh well. There's not a ton of seating space. I realized at the end when I was editing the video that I didn't place a TV in here. But you know, it kind of makes sense. Like, to me, I envision like older Sims living here that just like listen to the radio and do their own thing and just live a very simple life. So there's no need for a TV. I did manage to fit in a computer because those, like, you gotta have a computer in every build. There's just too many things that you need them for. So I did make sure to include that. But here you can see me really just trying a million different swatches again on the chairs, tying in the blue, tying in the yellow and the green. And another thing too, with the price being slightly above like starter home, is you could also just remove the artwork and like potentially the curtains. I didn't actually look at how much they cost. If you wanted to start immediately in this house, artwork and curtains and then the grass, you could definitely delete, and it should be around the mark for a starter home price. But now you can see I'm working on the bedroom, still kind of staying with the theme colors. I love that bedspread so much, actually. Like, it's so cute. I would use that in real life for sure. I was a little sad. I wanted to have like a full desk, but it clipped into the door to the bathroom, and it didn't work out. So I ended up using this little tiny wooden table, which honestly is kind of fitting. Like in this scenario with like, if you had older Sims living here, to me, I wouldn't imagine them having some big fancy computer desk, and it being like that flat screen computer, you know, it makes sense that it would be just a little table with an old style computer, you know, like just living this simple life. You know, this is definitely a lot that I would give the simple living trait for, because you can have a little garden in the back, you know, have your chickens. There probably is space for chickens if you get rid of all the crazy grass that I did outside. Maybe if you put on a bigger lot, you could get some cows, and then boom, you have everything that you need. Get some llamas, get your wool, make some sweaters for your grandchildren, you know? There are endless possibilities with this build. I don't usually do clutter, you know this if you watch my other two builds, but since this house is small, I did decide to put all of the cute little things in the bathroom that you would normally see, like the little soap dispenser and the toothbrushes. Like, I decided, why not? It's a small house, it should be good. It should be totally fine. I didn't put a ton of plants in this build, actually. Usually I try to do more plants, but there weren't very many spaces for me to do that. So unfortunately, you know, if you find a place that a plant fits, you know, you go ahead, add it, because I wanted to make sure it was playable when it was downloaded. So I didn't go too crazy with things in odd places, because I was already a little worried about the door opening up to the bathroom sink, but I think it'll be okay. We'll have to see. So yeah, there's the build. I decided last minute that I forgot a couple of things, like a trash can, and added a couple of little things to the front yard. And I'll pull up the photo one more time for you, and you can see how close I got, how I did. Let me know what you think, if you like the build, if you think it's terrible, all of that stuff. Let me know in the comments. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. And yeah, I hope to catch you on my stream. I will be airing this, like premiering the video on YouTube immediately after my stream. So I hope to see you there. I hope to see you in my stream, you know, with my crazy legacy family. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys.